I'm kind of out of breath from those 2 quick sets. All right, what's going on, guys? We're here today, and I'm gonna run you guys through my 5 favorite bicep movements. It might be a while before you guys see me switching out movements, so I wanna take today to show you guys some exercise variety that you might not see within my own training, but you guys can use within your training. Without further ado, let's go get big biceps. So one of my favorite bicep movements is gonna be an incline dumbbell curl. So I have the bench set up here on a slight incline. I don't want it too steep, and I'll show you guys why. So what I'm looking for here is just enough of an angle to put me back to where my arms are behind me. So what I wanna see here, you guys don't need to be inclined way like this. Back supported, you're stable, but the arms are down behind you. And this is really gonna help load the biceps in the lengthened position. So what I wanna see here, palms facing forward, big curl, supinate and squeeze at the top, and control that weight all the way down. So what I don't wanna see is coming in here like this. I wanna see palms facing forward the entire time, where you come down, you keep that stretch and that tension on the biceps the entire time. Squeeze, control, stretch, squeeze, control, stretch, and so on and so forth. These are gonna burn like hell. So if you guys do these and you don't feel an intense burn at the end of your set, then you're not doing them right, because this movement is a killer. With the bench, I'm gonna show you guys one more bicep movement that I like to do with the bench. So this is a spider curl. This is gonna be another opportunity to really load the biceps in the lengthened position. So as you guys see here, my arm is just hanging straight down. I wanna make sure that that tricep and elbow is married to this pad, and I'm just flexing to move the weight up. So I don't wanna see your arm coming off the pad. Dig that armpit in, marry that tricep to the pad, dig your elbow in, and just flex the weight up. It's the contraction that moves the weight. So just squeeze the bicep and contract it up. And one thing I like to see here, again, is supinating at the top. So I want to really enhance that squeeze at the top by supinating my wrists. And one thing that can help, if you want to come bring this in a little bit, notice where I'm holding the dumbbell. I'm holding on this inside edge of the dumbbell. That way the weight itself is supinating my wrist. See what I'm saying? Opposed to here, it wants to pronate my wrist. So these little things can help you. Just little tweaks like that can assist in that supination to help you get a better contraction at the top. So just like this, big stretch, squeeze at the top, supinate, control down. Again, I really want to open up and I want to load this in a lengthened position. Squeeze. Squeeze. So we'll be honest with you guys, I trained biceps yesterday. So just even doing some of these practice sets, it's kind of lightening my biceps. I would like to show you guys some hard working sets, but that's not what this video is about today. I just want to go through, show you guys how I do it, give you some execution cues that can help you with your own bicep training. So that being said, let's move on to the next one. D handles. I'm gonna show you guys a little something with these and some cables. Okay, so another movement I like is gonna be this high cable curl. So I have it set up here to do double, and you guys can do it like this, which I like. But as you see, it's a little tight. If your 8 stack or your cable station is a little narrow like mine, or see I'm bottoming out, what I like to do is just do this single arm. We can step way away from the cables, and I can get a nice big full stretch and get that contraction up and behind my head. So fully lengthen the bicep and contract up here. Big stretch, big squeeze. This is gonna be really similar if you guys have ever seen like old Dorian training when he's using that like Nautilus bicep curl machine where it's up here and squeezing. This is kind of replicating that with cables if you don't have that machine. This is a great option. Again, this isn't a movement I do very often, but that's what this video is about. I want to show you guys movements that I don't necessarily do every week, but movements that I like, that I've used in the past, that have helped me build bigger arms. A typical cable curl situation, you'll be curling here, and what I see a lot of people do is utilizing their front delt. And this handicaps the shoulder. You're not able to use anything but your biceps here. So that is gonna be one advantage to this cable variation, opposed to a cable variation where you're pulling from below, where you can utilize the front delt or utilize momentum. This really is gonna mitigate all of that. You're only able to squeeze and contract the biceps. You're not able to use your delts at all to help you in this movement. Distributing your weight a little bit out is gonna help you be more stable here. So it's gonna wanna pull you back a little bit. So don't be facing here, it'll just pull you over. So I do like to get and distribute my weight slightly out to where I can stretch and squeeze. Oh yeah. There you go. This is another one of my favorite movements. Plate curls. Please don't do that stuff. Or single arm plate curls. All right, I'm gonna show you guys how I prefer to do the preacher curl machine. I like to do these single arm personally. There's nothing wrong with being in here and doing them with both arms, but I just feel like when I'm able to do these single arm, I'm able to align myself a little bit better, because see, I'm kind of cocked to the side just slightly just to keep this alignment better. And I'm able to brace against this pad. So what I like to do is really dig that armpit in, get stable, brace hard against this, and curl. And what I like to see here is a contraction at the top. I like to hold there for a second, control down, and hold right there in the stretch as well. I don't, firing in and out of it, I think is just less effective than loading in the fully stretched and really contracting hard at the top. So little things like that can make a difference in your bicep training, especially if biceps are lagging. You guys might see guys with awesome biceps that can get away with training certain ways. But if you have lagging biceps, little things like that can help you bring up your biceps. So execution matters, you guys. And you guys will notice I am standing here. I just find that when I'm sitting, I don't feel that I'm in as powerful of a position. So I feel like slightly handicapped here for whatever reason when I'm standing, and I just prefer it this way. I just feel like I'm over the top of this, excuse my language, but I'm over the top of this thing and I'm ready to grip and rip. So give it a shot and see what you guys think. So when we're talking about bicep movements, one thing we can't neglect is gonna be a hammer curl. So this hammer curl is really gonna work the outer brachialis of the bicep, but also your forearm here, so that meat of your forearm. So you can do these bilaterally like this, where you're doing them both at the same time. But what ends up happening is you have a tendency to kind of come in here where you'll see there's a little bit of torque on this elbow. So what I really like to see, and I'll show you guys, is I like to see perfect joint alignment. So this is really the most ideal scenario where shoulder, elbow, wrist are all aligned. Here is I'll slightly lean off to the side so I can kind of get out of my own way here, and then I can curl straight up. That way that joint alignment stays. At the bottom of the movement, go ahead and flex your tricep. Fully extend these. So the bicep isn't fully lengthened until the tricep is shortened, yeah? So as you come down, what I like to see is I consciously contract my tricep. And I'm not putting a whole lot of focus on really contracting and squeezing the tricep, but I do fully lengthen the arm to where that tricep is engaged. I do prefer a lot of these movements unilaterally. I feel like you can be a little more stable and you can get a little more out of the arm individually. That being said, it all boils down to time sometimes. When I'm here with a training partner and I'm putting these biceps after maybe, you know, a back workout or after a chest workout, something like that, where, hey, we're looking at 90 minutes, running up on 2 hours. I got my training partner, we're both doing one arm at a time, multiple sets, maybe we even have an intensifier in that set, and sometimes you can just accumulate a lot of time in the gym. So sometimes I'm just doing things bilaterally with both arms just to be a little more efficient with time. Now, if I had all the time in the world and I wasn't necessarily concerned with that, a lot of these movements you will see I would just do unilaterally. So within my bicep training, I think the execution is really gonna be one of the main drivers for progress here. I don't really focus much on load. I focus a lot on how I execute the movement, how much I control these negatives, the squeeze, the contraction, that type of stuff. I think that the biceps really are going to respond more to that style of training opposed to heavier movements. And again, there's a risk-reward thing when you're talking about going heavy on biceps. I think that people have a tendency to overload the tendons and stress their elbows more than they do train their biceps. So I hope within this training you guys pick up on some execution cues that can really help you execute these movements better to get the most out of each individual movement with a particular weight. So don't focus so much on the weight, focus on doing the movement correctly, exhausting the muscle, and then progress in weight. So hopefully you guys learned something today. I know it's a different style of video for us, but I want to know from you guys if you like this style video and if you want to see more. So let us know in the comment section below, and maybe I'll show you guys some other movements or some other body parts, but let us know. Again, thank you guys for watching. As always, we'll catch you on the next one.